everybody. Welcome back to the Cult Classic Podcast. Spooky season.
Spooky.
Cameron Jones here, along with my co-host,
Mark Nussel.
Jordan Bones.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
Jordan Drones. Jordan. I actually hate that I do this. I hate absolutely anytime I hear any podcast intro like this, but I can't help myself.
We're doing something interesting. We're doing a newer movie for you. Newer for us. Possibly the newest movie we've done. We're doing the...
Well, most recent for sure, but from when it came out, yeah, definitely. What are we doing?
We're doing the 2023 movie, Late Night with the Devil. With declining viewers and ratings, late night host Jack Delroy plans on winning back his audience with a daring Halloween special. In a gimmick to speak with the devil on live late night TV, Jack invites a possessed girl rescued from a cult on his program to spook his fans. Predictably, things begin to go awry when true evil enters the TV studio. Will Jack and his studio audience survive the Halloween broadcast?
Directed by Cameron and Colin Cairnes, who brought you Scare Campaign and 100 Bloody Acres. Starring David Dastmalchian, Laura Gordon, Ian Bliss, Faisal Bazi, Ingrid Torelli, and Reese Auteri.
Late Night with the Devil.
All right, we're moving on to recasting and crew, kind of that different format that we tried out last week that I think worked pretty well, so we're going to stick with that.
Streamlined.
All right, David Dastmalchian plays TV host Jack Delroy.
Familiar face.
Looks like he was in Oppenheimer.
He's been in a bunch. The Suicide Squad. He was the Dot Man. Yeah. He's been in a few different comic book movies. I mean, he's been in Batman's as just kind of like a goon. Scary movie I just watched. Check out The Last Voyage of the Demeter. It's the story of Dracula coming on the boat over and killing everybody. It's good. It's fun.
I saw that. I didn't see that. I saw that it existed.
Yeah, I liked it.
He's got a very unique look, leads itself to genre, and it seems like comic book movies, but he worked in this movie for me.
He's famously a fan of horror stuff.
He's a huge horror guy. I actually just listened to him on last podcast on the left.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty funny interview. I recommend it. Go back and listen to that. What did you guys have any recastings for him? For Jack Delroy?
I was all over the place. One, hear me out, but just like it wouldn't work for the time period, but Dev Patel would be fun.
It's so funny you brought that up. I kept telling Meg, it's like, I just want to put Dev Patel in here. She's like, I don't think it'll work.
It doesn't work.
So I didn't. It doesn't, but it
was in my head. I don't know. But then I just said Hugh Jackman.
I kind of like that.
So you went big star.
Yeah,
okay.
he's showy. I don't know.
I kind of stayed away from. Okay, shoot.
Well, I did. It wouldn't be my first choice, but I do have a big star on my list. But I won't go him. I'm gonna go. Adrian Brody.
Ooh,
okay.
I actually like that. It looks like to some
It's a little
degree,
bit of looks
that.
like. I think that's probably why it was in my head. I had a lot of looks like.
But yeah.
He would do a good job with it.
That's not bad. Good. I like that. Okay, so I was trying to find, in the spirit of the movie, a lesser known, not star actor, and I don't know if I did it. I did Thomas Sadowski. You may remember him, Cameron, from Newsroom. He's kind of like the dick producer.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. Yeah, that's good.
And I've got a bunch of people like on this line of actor, if you want me to go through all of those.
I mean, the only other random one I kind of had was James Marsden, but I don't like that one.
Married to Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah, I guess. Good for him. Or had kids or something. I also went Luke Kirby. If you watch Modern Miss Maisel, he plays Lenny Bruce.
Okay. I know who you're talking.
That might have been a little more on the nose. Do you want to hear who the star that Megan, or bigger name actor that Megan and I were thinking?
Yeah, what were the big names?
Cusack?
No. Oh, Cusack.
That's not bad.
I had Cusack.
We did see me Lou. He's in a Marvel movie, but I know him pretty much from like the Barbie movie and stuff like that.
Oh,
He's really charismatic and funny, and I think could probably play whatever you have to be scared from the devil.
I have another looks like, but Justin Long I feel like could do this too.
Oh,
he was in my he had my gears spinning. I just didn't want to be the guy that said Justin Long.
Well, now I'm the
don't
guy.
Say Justin Long. Yep, I appreciate that.
Sure. Laura Gordon plays June Ross Mitchell, the author
Familiar face, but I didn't really know her from much. I mean, you'd know her from Saw 5, Undertow, and Foe, but I'm not really. I mean, I saw 5, but I'm not really familiar with her rest.
You saw 5? Saw 5?
Not a big fan of the Saw movies myself, so no.
I seen Saw 5.
I feel like we need to do a Saw movie eventually, though, right?
Yeah, Saw 1,
we'll get
right?
to it.
Or whatever the fan favorite is.
Who'd you do for June?
I did Vera Farmiga.
I
gonna remember
did
her.
too.
Yeah,
from The
it's a
Conjuring.
looks like, damn it. So you did her from The Conjuring. I did her from Up in the Air.
Sorry, didn't Jack Delroy mention
The Warrens, or
the
someone
Warrens?
does.
Someone mentioned the Warrens. I thought that was interesting. So that had Vera Farmiga in my head. I didn't pick her though, but I definitely thought of her.
That's probably why. You want to know the other just go-to I did? Carla Gugino.
Oh, I thought about her for sure.
It's been a while since I've thrown her name in there.
January Jones.
For some reason, she was on my mind, but
That
she
works,
doesn't
for sure.
have a lot of personality most of the time.
Yeah, but she has a personality that's the type of person you're like, I could see her babysitting, like,
Yeah, right.
you know, a possessed stay-at-home or homeschooled kid,
100%,
right?
yeah. All right. Ian Bliss played Carmichael Haig.
You would know him from the Matrix movies, mostly Reloaded and Revelations. Apparently,
Who's he in that? Is he Mr. Anderson? No, right?
No, but I think he's the guy in the restaurant, maybe. But you might know him from Stealth or Superman Returns, apparently. But I don't remember where.
Okay.
Wentworth.
He's not.
Also, but.
I like mine. It is a little bit bigger of a name, but from the moment I watched it, I'm like, that's Paul Giamatti for me.
Okay.
The whole time. All right.
I also have a big name.
That would work really well.
Thank you.
Michael McKean.
Michael McKean.
Oh, that's good too, because of his,
Bitingness
everything.
and yeah, everything.
Yeah, that works. With or without a ponytail, I'm with.
I'll take either or.
Yeah, that's true.
I did Woody Harrelson.
I thought about getting him in there somewhere, and I almost pulled the trigger on him there, so I totally get that.
Yeah. Faisal Bazi played Christou. Looks like he's in the animated film Peter Rabbit and Shantaram.
And the only other one I'm seeing is Stateless, but he's not really familiar to me. I went off on this one and just put Hank Azaria in the role.
Okay. I just did Rami Malek.
Okay.
This may be too out there because I thought it was going to be more of a comedic role, but I did a Keegan-Michael Key. But he's kind of goofy enough that it would still work for the kookiness of Christou.
Yeah, as long as he plays it like rooted in the movie still,
Yeah.
he could definitely do it.
Do you know who I was kind
He
of
can't go like Key and Peele. He can do whatever like the version.
That's
is of
what's
this.
getting in the way it would probably end up like that. But if he rooted, like you said, if he rooted it in the actual
He's
film.
one of those guys that he's good in a lot of things, but if you let him go full himself, he's
Turturro.
Here, I'll give you. Yep, I was gonna say maybe John Turturro.
Turturro.
That's like the in
Ooh,
between.
I like the John Turturro.
He could do the more. He could fit that genre a little better, or like the straight.
That's good.
I didn't think about that. That works actually. That's good.
All right, and then let's go on to the girl Lily, played by Ingrid Torelli.
Ingrid plays Ingrid. How interesting.
I think you should do that for every kid actor. Just make it easy.
I think this is one of her bigger roles, though. She doesn't have a lot of credits. 5 Bedrooms, Forces of Nature, The Dry 2, and Bloom.
Had a little trouble
I went
with this.
I went scary movie, just kind of scream queen right now, and I went Samara Weaving. You'd know her from Ready or Not. You'd know she babysitter queen, or maybe just the first babysitter killer.
I don't know either of those. No, I saw Ready or Not. Yeah. Okay.
She's in a ton of scary movies right now.
She kind of looks like Margot Robbie.
Yeah, kind of.
You went with okay. Yeah, she does. So I know who she is. I just haven't seen most of the movies. I do like Ready or Not. That's the hide and seek one.
Yeah, it's really funny. I was gonna watch that last
the
night.
game show. I like that. I went Harriet and the Spy, Michelle Trachtenberg.
Okay.
Just a looks like kid actor from my youth. She's probably my age.
That's a good pull. She did look like her. I went Sadie Sink from Stranger Things.
Okay, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's
cool.
good. Did you guys do a production manager?
I forgot.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
I did one.
All right.
but
He
I use this guy all
is
the time.
Leo Fisk is the character played by Josh Kwong Tart. Looks like I don't know these, but Underbelly and All Saints that's
Okay.
movies he's in.
Okay.
But
Familiar titles, but not things I've seen.
that's where I put Paul Giamatti, Jordan.
Ooh, that I get it. Like a curmudgeon, like keep it moving. I put Jake Johnson there.
Oh, okay,
it's not my most inspired, but kind of a little sleazy, right? That's what the role has to be. Like, doesn't matter what's happening. Let's keep it going. A little show business, a little sleek salesman.
I totally forgot this character, so I'm going to swing for the fences and just say Philip Seymour Hoffman. Take it funny, take it sleazy.
Okay, yeah, it's perfect. You could incorporate the way he plays. It's like a mixture of two characters. His almost famous character, for sure, like the music critic, and then a little bit of Long Came Polly. Just a little just to sprinkle it on there. Yeah.
And then
I don't think you can ever go wrong with Philip Seymour Hoffman. No, really, for most roles, unless they are like James Bond.
He's a man of many hats.
Has to look like that. Yeah.
And then the last one that I had, or that I'm going to touch on, is Rhys Auteri, plays Gus McConnell, sort of the Andy Richter,
the sidekick.
Also, very few titles, just like two. A Good Deed, which is a short. That's all he has on IMDb.
Yeah, I don't even have any. I didn't even have that written down.
I mean, it kind of makes sense because for a lot of these people, if they don't have a super extensive catalog yet, this movie came out a year ago, so they might just be new actors.
And it's Australian made, so a lot of these people are Australian actors as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
No,
the Cairnes are Australian.
No. Funny that Mark said it. I did just say let's throw Andy Richter a bone and just put him in here, but then I was like, but if we're not,
it would take me out of it, but it kind of be funny.
But if we weren't doing that, I said Bruce McGill. You'd know him from Cinderella Man. He's the commissioner, or he's from Animal House. He's that guy.
Okay. Is he in Legend of Bagger Vance?
Yep.
I gotcha. Is he in the series finale of Quantum Leap? He is.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a bartender. Check it out. It's a real weird episode.
He is.
Pretty touching. Okay, I actually like mine a lot. This is the only good one I felt good about. I went Paul Walter Hauser. I don't know if you recognize him by name, but you've probably seen him and stuff. Look him up for yourself. He's in Richard Jewell. He's the main character in that. He's in I, Tanya. He's one of the thugs. He's in Cruella. He's one of the thugs. He's a really funny guy. He looks the part of a sidekick. I wish you could see him. Just look him up, guys.
He does. He's got that look about him.
For anybody who knows who this actor is by name or who I'm explaining, you guys realize I just won this round. He would be perfect. So good.
Who did I do? I did, I did Michael McShane. Keen Bean.
Oh, okay. I'm okay with that.
Same kind of guy as your, who did you say, Jordan?
Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah. Same kind of vibe.
The only other name I had down was Georgina Haig, plays Madeline Piper, his dead wife. You would know her from Once Upon a Time, Archive 81, which was a scary series on Netflix I started but didn't finish. She's also on Fringe. I just recast Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy.
Okay, yeah. Looks like I'll do Ellen Pompeo from Catch Me If You Can then.
Okay, Mark?
I'll do Ellen Pompeo.
I think it's just old school.
Yeah.
That's all I had left.
That's all I got left.
Pretty tight cast other than some of the crew and stuff, but we don't need to delve too deep. Do you guys want to move it on to Unverified? Welcome to the Cult Classic Movie Phone. It's March 22nd, 2024, and currently in theaters you could have seen Prey with Ryan Phillippe, Emil Hirsch, and Mina Suvari. Kung Fu Panda 4 with Jack Black, Awkwafina, and Viola Davis. Godzilla, The New Empire with Rebecca Halbryan. Azrael with Samara Weaving. Civil War with Kristen Dunst. Dune Part 2 with Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya. The Roadhouse remake, which I still haven't seen, with Jake Gyllenhaal. Go back and see our Roadhouse. It's supposed to be real bad, but, it's not like the original's great. Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. Good movie.
I saw that one. Go see that one. It seems like a lot of people didn't, but it's got everything you want from a summertime blockbuster.
It really does. Monkey Man with Dev Patel.
I did see that one.
I liked it. It was okay. Expectation management, Jordan.
I set up way too. It was not Green Knight expectations, but it was somewhere in there.
Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire.
Still haven't seen
it.
that.
Yeah, it's on Netflix now.
I'll see it sometime.
Damsel with Millie Bobby Brown. I should say we are in the era of streaming, so there's a lot of options, and I only wrote down like half of them.
Yep.
Pixar's Luca, the mermaid one. I liked it.
No way. That came out in 2023? I feel like that came out in 1998.
Arcadia with Nicolas Cage. Check it out. It's kind of like A Quiet Place if Nicolas Cage was the dad.
Rough for him to be quiet.
Spoiler alert,
I feel like he stubbed his toes and go, oh no!
He gets gravely injured at the beginning of the film, so a lot of it's just him in bed, kind of, but, you know.
Cool. He's like, I'll make your movie, but I'm not gonna, like, he'd go up. It's tough being a quiet place for him.
But you chose Late Night with the Devil.
I'll be honest, I chose almost none of those. I did choose Fall Guy.
I saw like 3 of these movies.
I still need to see Luca.
Okay.
It's good. It's on Disney Plus. It's fine. You know, it's Pixar. It's cute. Yeah. This is kind of interesting. So traditional folklore states that if a person makes a contract with the devil for earthly goods, the devil comes to claim that payment 7 years later.
7.
The documentary footage at the beginning starts 7 years prior to the events that take place on the Halloween night.
I did not pick up on any of that whatsoever.
You don't know your traditional folklore.
I don't know enough about folklore for me to be like, oh, you know.
Mount Rushmore, I've only got 2 for making a deal with the devil movies. I've got Bedazzled, of course, that's on there. Mm-hmm. And then that one where Homer gets his head turned into a donut. That's all I got.
I did think this was interesting that they used the Grove and the Bohemian Grove. It's actual folklore. Well, not folklore, but it's a mysterious men's only club in the California Redwoods where they have like lots of different rituals and pray to an owl god. So they are kind of taking a real pop culture celebrity thing as their inspiration for this, which is...
People talk about that.
Yeah.
It's along the lines of Skull and Bones. What are they doing? Are they just doing like all male musicals, or is it more seedy devil shit? It's somewhere in the middle. Who knows? Like nobody knows, but it's probably some mixture of the 3.
Oh, I've got here, Jordan. The movie made $666,000 on Sunday, March 24th of 24 at the box office, according to a distributor.
Cool.
In all likelihood, though, it wasn't a coincidence, as box office figures can be manipulated by around 5% by the distributor to compensate for receipts not tracked by Rentrack. So
I thought that was fun, though.
Do you have a budget? Like, I really didn't see it. I saw that they spent $150,000 on something.
They fudged the numbers a bit to have a fun little cute, 666 in there.
Cool. 666. That's nice.
Usually I hate on this, but this one I think they did a good job. They said that we had 20 days in the studio, essentially one location that was a 360-degree set. And they also just like... I do like, we'll talk more about the film style of this, but they shot with like a 3 camera running the whole time for the actual like show footage, and then plus everything else they had for behind the scenes.
That's cool. Got nothing more than say that's cool.
Here.
The Carmichael character is very clearly, apparently, based
I read that too.
Based on real life James Randi. Randi was a talented magician who became a famous psychic debunker, and he started an institute that offered a large reward to anyone that could reproduce their supposed paranormal powers in controlled conditions. Over decades, nobody was able to win the money, but the Carmichael character is based very clearly on this James Randi.
My generation's that was that masked magician on Fox that showed you how to do the tricks.
I hope he got his. I don't know. Did he ever reveal himself?
Yeah, the last episode, he's like, "It's me. You all
David
knew."
Blaine.
I forget who it was, but this is kind of interesting. The SWAT footage when they're taking down like the Church of Satan is actual SWAT footage from LAP serving warrants on the Liberation Army on May 19th, 1974.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, so they just use actual police footage from LA, which is kind of crazy. The last fact I have is just something I appreciate. Filmmaker Joel Anderson, known for being a recluse since 2009, came back to the world to help with this movie as a script editor.
What a weird time. I guess he's like, I made it through the pandemic. 2022, let's get out of the house.
2009. He's been a recluse since 2009 and came back, now. Weird. That's all I really have.
Wasn't there a little tidbit that Stephen King like gave it the nod or something?
I didn't write down the quote, but Stephen King watched it and essentially gave it a 2 thumbs up from him.
It's good enough for me. I know this isn't, report worthy, but it's got a crazy Rotten Tomato score, so that piqued my interest.
Yeah, it's like
really
90.
does.
It's like
an
upper
98.
90s. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
And for a scary movie, that's good. And for like an indie scary movie. Well, let us know if you found any other interesting facts on this. Write us in at Cult Classics. But we're going to move it on to questions.
Comments.
Animosities.
Questions, comments, animosity.
Questions,
What's
comment,
up?
animosity.
I was going to go, what's up, cult class assassins?
Oh, we don't have it. Do we have any
we don't,
nicknames
yeah, we don't
for
have
our
like
fans?
little monsters, so I wanted to give us
Okay.
our listeners cult classassins. I don't
Okay.
love it, but
Cult-
I can't think of anything else right now.
Name pending. Yeah, we'll that's a placeholder for sure.
I think they're cult sacks. I think they're the sacks.
Cult classic sick.
Yeah, let us know. You guys can make it up if you're a fan. Let us
Yeah,
know.
make up your own name, really. This is a found footage movie, but it kind of doesn't feel like it. And I think one, it is because like we have like the straight on like 3 camera like broadcast.
So they find a fun loophole is to show it in real time of the night, but through the broadcast. And I think that's what saves it and makes it feel, to me, more likable than most found footage movies.
Yeah, I agree.
Because most found footage movies are so stagnant. They just show clips of something and you're like, oh, I guess it's possessed or a witch is there. And this actually played out like in real time, a narrative.
Well, I also
I
just
enjoy.
like that even like the behind the scenes footage, it's shot like cinematically. It's not shot behind the scenes. And like we still get like the whole trippy end dream sequence, like there's still parts of it that are a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a straight found footage movie. But I mean, if you categorize it at that, I like it quite a bit more.
I think technically you have to, just because at the beginning they say this is that this is the broadcast. So, but
Yeah, but you showed us like what may or may not have happened. You know what I mean?
would you have liked it as much if like you don't like the behind the scenes stuff if it switched to reenactors doing those parts?
I don't know if I'd like the movie better, but I like that take. That'd be funny. That'd actually be really funny. So I guess their thing was we were making just behind the scene, just footage stuff that a normal late night show has.
I guess so, yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's how we always have to explain that in a found footage movie. I almost wish they just said something like, we've recreated the behind the scenes to what we assume.
Yeah, that works. I quite enjoyed it. This is my first viewing of it. I honestly, until you suggested it, had never heard of it.
Yeah, same.
I quite enjoyed it. It kept me on the edge of my toes. Obviously, you had the possession.
Is that
but I
what
was
do
thinking,
people say that? Edge of their toes?
no, it's
Tip my toes, edge of your seat.
yeah,
I got what you meant.
flat on my sack. I don't know, sack came in. No, I almost thought this, right? Take out the possession. I think I like this movie if it's just a sweeps night and any shenanigans happen. Whether it be like a crazy guest like takes hostage or whatever. I just like the way they shot it and set up the story.
I agree, which
And
I
then
think
on
is,
top of that, the possession really like knocked it up and made it, scary.
which I think is why part of like the high tomato rating. But even like as a noise is off and kind of like a funny cutesy thing, I
Yeah.
can see it like that.
Yeah, it kind of made me want to go back. Like I never watched the Larry Sanders Show, but like maybe I should watch that. Just the framework that they put at the beginning of the movie and the setup and the way they shot it.
The Blair Witch documentary giving you some lore. I really like that they built upon their own like hype.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, I liked the exposition at the beginning, and then I also liked how it really did feel like just sitting down and watching like Johnny Carson. Like they give you like some like hey, any Yankees fans out there? Just kind of like it really felt like sitting down and watching a late night.
They built
show.
good lore. It seemed like it was a believable show. It seemed like the guests would be believable for the time, minus the possession thing. And
Sure.
like granted the documentary helped with that, but I left this off on Verified. I forgot, but they did pick a specific Halloween night on a sweeps week that like this all would have
that's
matched
cool.
up. So they historically like the Dodgers facts and like they kept everything very factual for that very time.
That's cool. Yeah.
which just bleeds into the believability again.
It felt very authentic in the way that it looked like you were watching a late night show. Like it was totally believable to me. It didn't feel like they were putting it on. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
No, it does. Cameron, you said that they filmed it in a certain way. I almost wish that they would have put so more of like the 70s filter on it. There still was some of that, but I think they could have leaned into it a little more. That's just me being picky, though.
I like the name of the show too, Night Owls. That's a fun show.
I think that was based off something, but I didn't write it down.
And obviously paid lore and a nod to all that whole owl shit that those, people selling their souls to the devil are doing. And probably doing like Guys and Dolls, the all-male cast. I think they do a lot of that stuff too in those the woods.
This was his last shot, kind of competing like against like his ratings were bad, and like it was sort of his last ditch effort to.
Well, I think he just wanted to beat Johnny Carson. It seems like he was a clear-cut second, though, right?
Yeah.
No better way to like bring a possessed girl out on stage. I mean that's.
Which I want to say, okay, Christu, that's a good bit. That's spooky, builds some tension, and it's a believable late night host.
Well, especially on Halloween night. Yeah, that makes sense.
And the Carmichael Hague, same thing, like believable kind of skeptical thing. But I don't think we're getting the devil or a possession on late night TV in the 70s.
No, the closest you would get is an expert on it who's witnessed stuff in the room. Like you may get the doctor, but you're not having like that whole scenario.
I'll actually maybe go back and say the only like unbelievable thing maybe with his whole late night shows that it gets a little Jerry Springerish before its time, it seems, in the thing where it's like he's going downhill and getting crass. That.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, I don't.
Why not just make this like in the 90s or something, or just like push it back a bit? I mean, stylistically, I see why. I mean, it's cool and it's fun, but
I like it more in the 70s, where it's at. For me, it worked, but you could have said it in the 80s or the 90s, I'm sure.
I mean, was there any show kind of close to that at the time? I don't know.
Late night was different back in the day. What's his name? Dick Cavett. His was more kind of this format. You would have like serious interviews and stuff. To me, it was a late night show, but it was boring.
Cameron wanted to see Craig Ferguson.
Yeah.
Big Craig Ferguson.
He still does. He's always bringing up Craig Ferguson. He never lets it go. Been off there for probably like 10 years, Cameron. Give up Craig Ferguson.
Oh, but on the Christu thing, animosity. The second someone spews black goo, I think we're done filming for the night, right? When someone projectiles like a mystery liquid.
But I'm making Jiffy Pop at home, and I'm hunkered down for a good night of Night Owls. That's what I'm doing.
Oh my God.
Holy shit, honey.
Holy God, you can't rewind. It's in real time, so you're calling up your friends and be like, you guys watching Night Owls?
Did anyone else catch that? No, everyone's trick-or-treating?
The closest I've ever been to see Night Owls, not a possession, but I did in real time see Joaquin Phoenix do his bullshit thing on Letterman. You remember that? When he was like,
when he had that really weird interview?
Stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that with Megan. I'm like, is this real? Are we watching a real thing? And then we all saw Will Smith slap... Yeah, so the big question is from this movie, put yourself in anybody's scenario. When do you stop?
How long
is it
do you
the puke?
stay? Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I have that written down as like one of my next ones. Like, as a guest, as soon as I find out that we're having a possessed girl come in, I might bail at that point. I'm like, oh, I signed up for a fun Halloween special. This is getting weird quickly. You could assume that the Christu thing is like, all gimmicks and stuff. You can stay through that. Yeah.
The cast, the crew, and the bandmates, they should have bounced. The audience, though, what I assume you would think it was still a farce, right?
Yeah.
When he left spewing.
But if I'm on the crew and you hear that he died, I'm like, I'm out. Yeah. I think you got to. I'd be so mad going to a late night taping and actually getting like a devil possession situation going on.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money on my Tin Man outfit. I came for the Halloween costume parade, not this.
Oh, I'm glad you brought up the costumes. Unless I missed something, did the skeleton in the crowd ever have any significance?
I think he is just supposed to be the devil.
Is he the devil? But they never told it.
No, they didn't.
I needed it very on the nose to be like, is that the devil? Because I wasn't sure.
They didn't say it outright, but he is there at the end, too.
He's the devil, though, right? He's the devil?
Yeah, I was going to ask that, too, because I wasn't 100% sure, but I think we're supposed to imply that that's the devil just hanging out and coming to collect,
Okay, I thought I missed something. I'm like, I thought it was the devil, but I think it's just a guy that was really dedicated to the outfit.
Another just huge animosity. I mean, why would June allow this to happen? I know she has a book to sell, but at that point, she's already gotten the free publicity. Like, if she knows how dangerous it is, she's being reckless.
Do anything for love.
Was it love? So yeah, I don't know. Fame. I guess
fame and lust. I guess that's why the devil
dealing with it. I don't know.
Devil took her too. No one in the audience died though, right? It's just took out the guest.
Not that I can remember.
Props to the camera guys for sticking around the whole time and getting that all on footage. It's like, we gotta keep fucking taping.
It's a union job, you know. You gotta do it. It's a union job.
I think the producer says after the hypnotism when she's possessed that like some of the crew leaves at that point. I think it's the first time we lose people.
Yeah, everybody should leave except I guess the co-host. He's like, this has got to be my job.
Gus deserved better than that. He was out from the beginning, you know.
I know, but he got what he got for staying.
Also, note to self, if I'm in any scary situation, make sure I don't say something like, oh, I hope I don't invert my dick and die from it, or something just like specific, because it seems like that happens.
I like Gus. I liked all the side characters that I saw. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I feel like they missed a studio head or something trying to stop it. Like they had their producer, but nobody tried to pull the plug, and they would have. Somebody would have.
Yeah, it seems
They're
like
in a building in New York. There would have been somebody on a different floor being like, "Hey, we got to shut this shit off." Or
hey, we hear there's a possessed girl flying around down in Studio B. We can't have that on live television.
I heard from some people that saw it in theaters that it was a really good experience. Like it felt like that you were a part of the audience versus if you're watching at home. So there were two different ways that were really cool to view it. Like from us, where we saw it, like you're just viewing from home, and then if you were in the theaters, you were kind of part of the whole production, which
that makes sense.
Kind of cool.
I actually think that would play out differently. I will say at home though, I didn't know how it was going to end. I mean, I figured not good, but I was pretty much on the edge of my seat as soon as the possession started happening. I'm like, ooh, this is tingly. Personally, I was watching it, and then one of my sons woke up, and I had to go calm him down. I was pretty scared in the bedroom. That wasn't fun. So I didn't get to finish. I had like 15 minutes left during the spooky stuff. I'm like, ooh, I don't want to do this right now.
I decided I'm completely against hypnotism now. I don't fuck with it.
You know what? I don't think I can be hypnotized because I won't let it happen. But
that's a big aspect. Like during like the prom after parties, like I would always be the one like out of the corner of my eye, like, you guys are letting this happen.
Yeah, why you letting this guy in? You don't know how much the school paid for this guy.
I have no idea why anybody would want to be hypnotized.
Well, especially like the Gus scenario. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do to me. Or let's say,
he had no choice. He had no choice.
What's that Kevin Bacon movie
Gus
where
has no
they
choice.
open his eyes and he sees the dead girl in his house? Stir of Echoes.
Stir of Echoes?
Yeah,
that ruined Gus's night. He showed his little pudge he said, "This is the worst night of my life." Like,
well, he said, "This is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me," or something, and then he died.
That right there's the best case scenario, right?
Yeah,
and then
that's
the
best
worst
case scenario. I'm popping a boner. I don't know what I'm doing.
And hypnotized. Well, he's trying to find his mark. No pun intended.
Mark, we haven't begun yet.
Mark has a boner. He's like, oh no, you got me. You got me. The worm stuff was gross with Gus. It kind of made me think of they're worms, Michael, but it wasn't. It's just gross stuff.
Yeah, I'm mad at Carmichael. If I'm in the audience, if I'm at home and I got hypnotized, I'm like, oh my God, that was horrific. I didn't sign up for this shit.
Yeah, I wish they would. The one thing that was slightly confusing is I wish it would have shown me a little bit more what the audience saw versus what we were seeing as within the character's mindset,
Which leads me to a question. Does the audience and like the viewers see the trippy part at the end with everything going on, or is that just for us and just for Jack?
I think that, so the way I took that is, this is what's going on in Jack's head, and the audience just sees him freaking out and stabbing people. Or people just dying, right?
I don't think that
that's right.
When they cut to the end, it still shows like Carmichael on fire, like her neck is slit and like his neck's twisted around Gus. So like, I still think it was possession-y. So people saw that,
gnarly.
right?
I don't know though. That's what I'm saying. I think that the devil could have played tricks on him to make him do that. I'm not sure. So at the end of this, does he still have a show, or is he under arrest and like put it in?
I assume like a sane asylum situation more than anything. Yeah.
But do you know what set him off is finding out that he was second in the ratings still.
God damn it.
God damn it, no!
What can I do?
This will take me over the top.
I killed 3 people on television. I'm fine with either version. If the devil made him do it I like kind of imagining more the whole exorcism happen and they just filmed that girl floating and like burning someone.
That's what I want. I want what we saw to be what the audience experienced, right?
Yeah, I'm going to take a step further. I think the devil made everybody see that weird trippy stuff of Jack being like, turn off your TV. Turn it off.
Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. There's a little gray area there, but I'm under the camp that they saw what we saw. I saw everything he said.
Do you guys
Like,
remember when we were
situation.
kids, like there would be like a magician that would come on and like do something similar, like try to hypnotize the...
Like on television?
Yeah.
I remember the big like magic specials that used to be on and stuff.
Yeah,
but-
maybe that's what I'm remembering. But I either way, I liked that. There was some nostalgia there. Obviously not 70s, but like sort of some of that stuff that I remember as a kid.
I will speak on behalf of this for the movie. Love that it's actually set on Halloween and not just a scary movie that takes place on any other day. It does add something for me and makes it a Halloween
historically accurate too. So,
Yes,
nice.
Halloween movie.
The only other like animosity I have is the fact that we need this gimmick to keep the prop knife around, or like the ritual knife for the stabbing later. But the fact that she is buckled in thick leather straps meant to hold crazy people down, and instead of just fidgeting with the buckle, he uses that knife to try to get through a thick leather strap meant for restraints. That's all. It's crazy to me.
Wait, which part do you think is crazy?
The fact that when she's tied in the chair and she's like, please help me out, he takes the knife and starts cutting a leather restraint instead of just unbuckling it. Like it would be, you know, the scene in Titanic where they're cutting the ropes? He'd be at that for like an hour and a half trying to get through that leather. You can't do that.
That's true. They had to incorporate the knife.
I know, but still.
I was like 30 years old when I found out it's straint jacket, not straight jacket.
I'm 37 then when I found it out.
Well, you're welcome.
So it's like short for restraint, like a straight jacket?
Correct. Fun little Berwyn, Illinois shout out.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. I think he is from Illinois. I think it's part of why. I think he's from the Chicago area.
His character is supposed to be from the suburbs of Illinois.
No, I think he
Yeah,
is
okay.
himself.
Oh, the actor?
I believe so.
Dalmatian.
Oh, okay.
Or at least
Sure.
or he's part of some like theater company. I think he has roots here.
What was the character's name? Jack Delroy? I like that
Yeah,
as
good
a
name.
host name. Good name.
Yeah,
they
good
they
name.
knocked that out. Night Owls knocked that out of the park. That worked for me. It was all good.
It was a good indie movie. It was like a good Shudder original. Go back and also check out Autopsy of Jane Doe, another Shudder original streaming.
Go listen
Shudder.
to her.
Yeah, remind me to get rid of Shudder at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I did
Holy
it
shit,
right
I've
at the
been
end of it. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get stuck with Shudder for a year. Next year when we do a new Halloween movie and Cameron's like a Shudder original, I'll get it again, but I can't.
I didn't
be
even
stuck with it
suggest
for a
this
year.
one. I just went along with it.
Can someone, Jordan, can you go into the Grove a little bit for me? I don't really know much about it.
So it's one of those like, it's a legendary men's club. It takes place in the Northwest among redwood trees and I guess elite politicians like your Kennedys of the world or your Rockefellers and stuff like that.
High society
They go
movie
there,
money
Van
movers.
Buren's.
but they go there. They dress up as owls. They worship owls. They set like a Burning Man type fire, and they probably get like naked and have orgies speculatively, and like sacrifice people. Or like I'm saying, it could just be a bunch of rich people to be doing dumb stuff like you would do at camp. I don't know.
What movie did I
But
just
people are speculating that they're, lizard people and they do all that stuff, right? That's what
Yeah.
I'm led to believe. Yeah.
He had to kill his wife to get
No,
higher in the...
It seems like he did sacrifice his wife in a way to the devil in order to get.
I don't think he knew that he was sacrificing her, right? He
I
just
don't-
made a deal with the devil
Yeah.
and that was
I agree with that.
part
I
of
don't
it.
think he knew what was happening.
Okay.
I still think he would have sold his wife to the devil. I think what happened is what we're led to believe is he was at this. The owl and their worship for the devil gave him this opportunity. They're kingmakers, and the consequences of it was obviously I'm showing up on Halloween 1970, whatever, and I'm really gonna fuck up this show. And I killed your wife, and I'm letting you know I killed your
But
wife.
for that night, you're number one, baby.
Number one for tonight. And that must have been the deal. He's like, I want to be number one, right? So that's what happens when you make the deal with the devil. He's like, here's number one. Was it worth it, Jack? And it wasn't.
I did like in the exposition, like how they kind of like touched on all the shitty like bits that he used to do that like didn't really pan out.
Which makes me, I think it's ahead of its time, though. That's too Jerry Springer, you know?
Oh, that's what you were saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe. I'll one up you, though. A lot of people don't like exposition, or some people don't. That may have been my favorite part of the movie. I could have watched a couple like more segments of their exposition. Just keep filling me in on Jack Delroy and all these characters and everything I need to know. Spoilers coming up. Did you think spoilers? Do you think everybody's gonna die in the manner that they did? That kind of caught me off
I
guard.
assumed everybody would, but maybe not in the manner that they did. But
Okay, I didn't know if they'd all die.
I didn't expect Jack Delroy to be stabbing the girl at the end when he kind of came back to.
Yeah, I was confused initially when I watched it about what the pacing of the movie was going to be, because I was like, well, if we bring her out, like what happens after that? I feel like it just has to be action packed, but it was
a good build. I liked the pace.
Yeah. And even after she's like hypnotized and possessed, they still like have a good build after that again.
Oh, I actually do have one more question. At what point do you think Jack realizes like, oh fuck, this is it? Because he kept going with it, which was he seemed to know that
it's real. He knows it's real
because of his wife's name being named, but he just never stopped.
Yeah, he has a.
And I don't know if he could, but he seemed to understand. It's like, oh, this is happening
for sure by the end.
Well, but don't you think he knew? I feel like when the possessed girl Lily was talking in his wife's voice and saying shit, like, don't you think he was like, oh, the devil stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's right. Like, the zombies. No.
Owl City, 10,000 fireflies. I do think they play a lot of Owl City there.
Because of the explanation at the beginning, it cuts it down to a nice 90 minutes, which it's very watchable. And Jordan, you kind of touched on this sentiment, like it is just like watching a late night show because it happens in real time. Like it was very watchable, I thought, in that aspect.
The more we get a hold of these type of movies in real time stories for movies, I enjoy it. It's a thumbs up for me.
Yep.
If you can be like, what you're seeing is the story and it's happening in relatively real time, a lot of those movies are good. And this is another example of that.
It was a good indie movie, a good stream for Shudder. Check it out if you haven't already. High on the tomato meter, so don't take our word for it. Let us know what you thought of this movie. Let us know what you thought of our QCA, but we're going to move it on to Mount Rushmore. Top 4.
Top 4.
Mount Rushmore. Top 4.
Mount Rushmore, top 4. This episode, we are doing our favorite found footage movies. Let's go Mark, Jordan, me. Mark, favorite found footage. I think I know your answer.
Yeah, you do, because it's actually just one of my favorite scary movies in general. It's Blair Witch.
I assume. Blair Witch 2, though, Book of Secrets. Yeah, I'm with you.
Book of Secrets. No.
I think that's what it's called.
Blair, is it really?
I think so.
I was thinking National Treasure. Either way.
That might be.
Blair Witch just holds like I've got a soft spot for that movie, and I know some people, it's you either love it, you hate it. But obviously Blair Witch is high on a lot of these lists that you find.
I don't know if that's technically the first one to ever do it, but it's the first in my knowledge, and I'm not an expert on.
They don't really show you anything, and it's like it kind of leaves it all up to the imagination. So one of my favorites.
That was so found footage. People thought it was real.
Yeah, it was the first. There are things that predated, but it was the first like huge mainstream one that I feel like really took hold. And again, like Jordan said, tricked a ton of people into thinking it was real, and they were just showing this to people.
I remember renting that movie at Movie Gallery and like not being able to like get past the first like 5 minutes because I was like fucking scared out of my mind.
That's all the daylight stuff, Mark.
It's all the daylight stuff.
I can't argue with Blair Witch. I would have said it if you didn't. So I will go with, and I'm sorry, this just isn't a category I'm an expert on, so I got to go with Paranormal Activity.
Yep.
Same reason, big hit, saw it, scared me.
Teaser also, stay tuned for next episode. We will be doing Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, it's the reason I don't want to look ever at security footage.
I think the first one's great.
I think so too, and I don't know how many they made. So just
quite a few. The first one is really good. I mean, the first two are pretty good, as with a lot of horror things, and then it usually comes back around when we get real trippy and original with it. So we'll see where that goes. I just watched this movie again today. I was talking about it with Jordan earlier. As above, so below. It's a movie about getting lost kind of in the tunnels of Paris, and it's like the gates to hell. I like it. It's a good found footage.
So that one seems interesting to me, but because I don't like horror movies all that much, I'm like, yeah, that's just going to scare me too much, probably.
It's tunnels. They're looking for Nicholas Flamel's stone, and also there's like Egyptian shit. So it's like has a little National Treasure, has a little Harry Potter.
What's cool about it, though, great poster, though.
Yeah.
Great poster.
Great poster. Like maybe it's a really good movie poster.
Check it out. It's on Netflix or something. I just watched it.
The only way I'll watch it is if you suggest it for next year's Halloween movies.
Well, I know what I'm putting up there. With that, we have our honorable mention. Anybody have any other ones?
Cloverfield was a big one.
Yeah, a lot of funny enough, like ones on the big list are like not exactly scary, like Chronicle, the superpower one.
There's two different ones. There seems to be either like a horror movie / possession. That's one category, and then sci-fi ones.
So yeah, creature feature action kind of situation, usually.
REC, record.
Oh, Rec. So if you've seen
late night TV host Angela and her cinematographer are following the fire. Blah blah blah.
This one's a huge series. It's French, but you've seen the English version. Maybe I think it's called Contagion, or it's the one where they're locked in the apartment building. It's just that was the American version of it.
Okay.
It's either French or Spanish, and there's like a wreck wedding. Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones. They're supposed to be. I've only seen the first one, but they're good.
Could it be German?
I thought it was Spanish or French, but maybe it might be Spain. It's Spain or France. I can't remember. Okay. Also on the list, the Tunnel. That's like a pretty much like similar to As Above, So Below, but I think a pyramid. Unfriended, Mark. I think you've seen that one. That's computer one.
So the Unfriended one, though, I've never seen it. Always reminds me of that scene in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I'm dead. It's like, just hang up your phone. You know,
I'm sure it got horrible ratings, but I didn't hate it. I didn't mind it.
It was fine. It was a nice.
The gimmick is enough for me to enjoy, right?
Sure.
That someone shit their pants and revenge killed all of their friends.
But like the whole gimmick is, it would just be like right now us on the screen, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would just leave the room. That's all you got to do.
Looks like VHS makes the list. The Visit makes the list.
I like VHS 1 and 2. Oh, if you want comedy, What We Do in the Shadows is technically, well, it's more of a documentary crew, I guess. But.
Okay, so I saw that, but I'm like, that's a mockumentary. You can call it found footage, but
99 Rotten Tomatoes. 2020 movie called Host. 6 friends accidentally invite the attention of a demonic presence during an online seance.
I've seen it,
but
I didn't
Unfriended,
know.
It seems, but.
I've seen it, but I didn't know it was that good. I didn't remember being that good.
I might check that one out. It's on a Shudder original, Jordan.
I just canceled my subscription. Can anybody share their login credentials?
It's only an hour and 5 minutes, too.
That's a great thing, maybe. That's what I want, you know?
If you like sci-fi, like we're saying, Apollo 18, that alien failed Apollo mission, found footage one, there are just a million here. We could go on. Grave Encounters, the fourth kind. Do you guys have any others you want to throw on before we close out?
I think that's a tight list.
It's just not a category I'm as familiar with, so I apologize.
Oh, not a problem. One Cut of the Dead, Cannibal Holocaust, and Devil's Pass. Thanks for listening to our take on Late Night with the Devil, and thanks for tuning into our spooky season. We got one more to go. Make sure you watch ahead, see the original Paranormal Activity. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Rate and review, that would help us greatly. And if you want more content, check out the rest of the Majestic Jam Network. I'm Not Crazy and Urban Hermit.
Oh, and if you're looking for more, we have a pretty long back catalog of Halloween movies. So
that's true.
Go check those out.
Make sure you check the back catalog for all of our episodes, but specifically around the holidays.
We'll see you next weekend.
Bye-bye.
Cult Class Assassins.
Bye.